Today we are talking about 14 frugal things to add to your kitchen for less waste and saving money. Welcome to Ridgehaven Homestead. From the mountains of Upper East Tennessee, we share snippets of our off-grid life, cabin build, and garden blessings. Pour yourself a cup of tea, sit back, and take a peek into our off-grid home and family. The first frugal thing that I have discovered recently that I love to have in my kitchen and that I will never do without now are these Swedish dishcloths. I've been using these, as you can tell, for close to a year at least. They're very strong. You can use them thousands of times and they save you lots of money over paper towels. These were just a couple bucks at Walmart. They came in sets of 2 and I have used these and used these and used these. You can throw them in the washer and they are made of like viscose or bamboo and they just last forever. So rather than using lots of paper towels, grab one of these. Decided I needed to upgrade mine because these are getting tattered. They're still super usable, but I went ahead and grabbed some new ones, some pretty ones. When I first got these, it seems like they just had basics, but now they have pretty ones. And so I did get these from Amazon after looking at Costco and Aldi and Walmart and the different times. I just decided I need some more. I love these so much. I use them all the time. And literally, you can use them instead of thousands of paper towels. So I got these pretty ones. This one has like a bird design. This one is like a romantic flower. I like this set because I think they were called romantic floral and they are very pretty. So I will enjoy using these. Actually, these that I just got are quite a bit thicker, probably because my old ones have been worn out so much, but they're about the same size. My old ones actually are a smidgen bigger. And then when you add water, they get a little bit more pliable. And these even came with ropes for I guess for hanging them. That's kind of interesting. So I ended up getting this 12-pack for I think it was like $10, and literally they will last for a long time. The next frugal item that I always keep in my kitchen are multiple sets of thermoses. We have 2 for each working guy so that we can add soup, or usually do beans and maybe a pasta or beans and rice during the winter. I like to add soups to these, or now that we're getting into the warmer months, I like to add frozen fruit, some almond milk or coconut milk, a little bit of stevia, and that makes a refreshing, chunky kind of smoothie. Sliced bananas in there too. You can do potato salad, you can do any number of things. That just saves you money from having to go and buy things for your lunch. So they also come with these handy dandy foldable spoons, which my guys love, and sometimes I have a hard time getting the spoons back. But these will keep hot things hot for a long time. The next frugal kitchen item to save you money is going to be cast iron everything. I love our cast iron skillets. I have 2 cast iron skillets, this rounded one and then the flat bottom one. So you can do so much with them. And why is this listed in my frugal kitchen when cast iron can be a little bit of an expense? I just feel like it is an investment that you're going to use forever. I've had this, oh goodness, probably at least 20 years, and it just needs, I don't ever have to reseason it anymore. It uses less oil than a lot of pans. It's naturally non-stick once it's seasoned well, and I just love how it cooks. It's one of those things that you buy once and you have forever. And I also like to use the different muffin tins and baking pans that are cast iron. They bake things very nicely and evenly, and I just feel like it's a great thing to add to your kitchen and to keep the cost down because you're not going to be having to use a lot of oil. Okay, the next frugal kitchen item that will cause less waste overall are these handy dandy little hats. We like to put them on leftovers. You can stretch them out and it saves you money on, it's like a reusable saran wrap, only it's a little bit thicker. So they come in lots of different sizes and colors. This is actually my last one, and this came with something, that's why it has this sticky stuff on it, but we've reused it. Oh goodness, they last for a very long time if you can keep up with them. The problem is if they like travel and then they're hard to get back. But these little hats we can get on Amazon. My mom usually has gotten these for me in the little sizes and the big sizes and the great big sizes. So you'll not be using as much saran wrap. In fact, we hardly ever use saran wrap. You just grab one of these. Next thing that I think belongs in our frugal kitchen is a high quality blender. Now we have the Vitamix, and this one we've had for, oh goodness, probably at least 15 years. So we're way past our warranty. But when we had our warranty, we actually made use of it several times because I was grinding hard things, and sometimes that was hard on the blender jar for the grinding of like garbanzos and popcorn. So they're very good with their warranty. They have a 7-year warranty, and we really like to use our Vitamix. You can make your homemade mayos, homemade smoothies, lots and lots of different soups and things. And so it's another one of those things that you're going to have an investment at the outset, but then it's going to serve for you for so long. And actually, I think we may have gotten this one refurbished. So yeah, you can look for deals. And so even though it is an expense, it will serve you for so long and making homemade food that it's still, I feel like it has a place in a frugal kitchen. The next item is kind of fun. I think a French press is a very handy thing to have in your frugal kitchen. Now, why do I say a French press? You can just use a teapot. With your French press, it's non-electric. You can make coffees and teas, and I use mine for herbal tea. You just throw your tea down in there, your loose tea, or even a tea bag if you want, but I just use it for loose tea. And then you just put this little strainer on, and it just holds all the goodies where they go. And then you can strain them right out of the same pot. And so this will last for years and years. You don't need special cups or filters or anything like that. It's just, you can use it for a couple people or just for one. I usually make it for myself for tea. So I feel like that just kind of saves on all the filters in the little cups and everything. Of course, it's not as convenient as the K-cups, so you have to decide what's going to be best for your kitchen. But for my kitchen, I love to have something like this that's really simple and just, it's kind of my go-to for tea. Okay, for number 7, we're going to have to swing around and look at our fridge. Frugal item number 7 or 8, I don't remember which one I'm on, is just a simple either whiteboard or blackboard, chalkboard, some kind of reusable list that you can jot down things on your fridge or anywhere in your kitchen. I like to use this to say we're going to need cereal or whatever. And so this is actually a magnetic piece that I have that has menus, calendars, and then it came with these magnetic, actually I think I ordered the magnetic markers separately. That way we have our list in plain sight. I have to have things in plain sight, otherwise I will forget them. And so you can just look at that. You can take a picture if you want, or you can just peel it off here if you desire and take that with you. But I just like to have lists around, and that just keeps us on track so that we don't have to make so many trips to the store. And then we have our menus if we choose to use that. And actually this whole kit came with a calendar, so Adam writes down his work hours. Just kind of handy. For our fridge magnet set, we did get that off of Amazon, so I can put the link in the description for that. Okay, while we're looking about our kitchen, number 8 is mason jars. Mason jars of all sizes and descriptions are great for storage. Like we use them for dry storage. We can also use them for like herbs, pastas, nuts, beans, whatever it is. And you can just store them in the fridge. There's so many ways that you can use mason jars. Of course, you can use them for canning, so don't forget about that. I like to have them, and then I like to use these like mayonnaise lids. They just come free, and you can save if you want. You don't have to actually get mason jars if you're going to use them for storage. Save your mayonnaise jars. They already have great lids on them, so that is a great frugal thing to do in your kitchen. The next item is very humble, but we cannot forget it. This helps you to seal up bags, and that is the humble rubber band. We keep lots of rubber bands. In fact, I keep a rubber band ball in my junk drawer so that I can roll up bags of bread or whatever, or chips, and just seal them off if I want to. And I cannot think of all the uses that we have for rubber bands right now, but if you think about it, you'll probably come up with hundreds or thousands of uses for rubber bands in your kitchen. You can use them for bundling your veggies or fruits and lots of different uses for rubber bands. On that same note, clothespins are super handy in the kitchen, and then also these metal strong clothespins. I get these at the Dollar Tree, and I think I get these maybe from Amazon. These are pretty strong. These are pretty not as strong. So these are great for chips if they're smallish bags. And then these are really great for chips and anything that needs to be, you know, rolled down. These are so strong. So I like these. You can get like a pack of, I don't know, 6 or 8 for $1. So I love to keep these kind of things in my kitchen so we're not wasting food. Another thing thinking about leftovers are, I like to keep glass storage containers, and of all different shapes and sizes. We obviously get these kind that are, I think they're Pyrex or Anchor Hocking. We have actually a couple different kinds. These all happen to be Anchor Hocking, but I have the exact same set that I got at Aldi for a really good deal around Christmas, and they also came with lids that just look the same. In fact, some of these lids are Anchor Hocking and some of them are Aldi brand. So you can take these from the fridge to the oven. You can put them in lunches. It just saves from having to transfer them to multiple containers, and that way I like something that has multi-purposes, and as long as you can keep track of these, they're really, really handy. I like to use them for little baking dishes at times if I just have something small, and so I include those in our Frugal kitchen because they're just so great for storage and for baking small amounts. We've mentioned lunch boxes a few times, but you need to have lunch boxes for every family member if you're going to be trying to eat frugally. So if you have a lunchbox, especially an insulated lunchbox, and there's no special kind, every person in the family has a different type and brand of lunchbox. So sometimes I like to pick these little igloo ones up at Walmart. Obviously this one has mud on it. It's been at the construction site. You can put your thermoses in. You can put several. I like to keep the little ice packs around, but this way you're not dependent on going to Pal's or McDonald's or wherever to grab something when you're out and about. You already have something, so that saves you money, and it is a lot of money saving by just packing your lunch at home. Kind of interesting, I watched a movie from like 1985, I think, and it showed people coming into work in this factory, and every single one of them had a lunchbox. And I was thinking, you know, back in the day, everybody brown bagged it or took a lunch. It was just the normal way of doing things, but for some reason we've gotten to eating out being the normal. You spend a lot of money by eating out, so take a lunchbox. I think that was a bonus one. I think this makes 15 instead of 14. The next item in our Frugal kitchen is some type of water filter. You don't necessarily have to buy bottled water if you have a good way to filter your water, and then you can drink it at home. We run through 5 gallons a day in this Berkey water filter for our family because we all try to keep like almost a gallon of water for each person, and then sometimes a little bit of extra. So we do have the Berkey water filter. We've had it for years. It is an investment, but once you buy it, you can, it just goes forever. And we really like the taste of it. It has carbon filters in it. So that's our preferred, but any kind of water filter. Sometimes you can get the little pitcher ones that have the filters inside and you pour, and so you just have to keep in mind that those filters have to be replaced a little bit more than the Berkey. But having a way to get your own clean water and your own purified water will save you from having to get as many water bottles. So that's a big saving. It's a big savings, but it also is a lot less waste, because when you drink a 16-ounce water bottle and you have the water bottle left, well, you're chunking that into the landfill somehow. The next item on our list of Frugal kitchen items to have is a pressure cooker. My pressure cooker actually has soup in it right now. We use it so much. You can get dry beans, and that is probably the cheapest high protein meal that you can get. Cook it in your pressure cooker. It takes about 45 minutes to fully cook beans from unsoaked dry beans to ready to go. And so it's fast, it's efficient, and it's low tech. I like low tech options because we are off grid, and so I like to have something that just doesn't take a lot of fiddling. Instant Pot can do something similar, but I actually find that the stovetop pressure cooker is faster than the Instant Pot. You just have to keep an eye on it. So I would definitely consider this part of our Frugal kitchen items. You can cook potatoes that are diced in about 8 minutes. You can do so many things in a small pressure cooking pot, and I actually like to make our popcorn in here. You just have to be careful that it doesn't burn, and it takes a good lot of shaking, but I think it tastes delicious out of the pressure cooker. The last item, which is 14 or 15 depending on if you're counting my bonus one, is silicone muffin tins. Okay, so these are a buy it once and have them almost forever, as long as you don't like rip them up. They will last you a very long time, and you can bake one muffin if you so choose, or cupcakes, or you can bake a whole slew of them. They stand on their own on your baking pan, or you can put them in your muffin cups, and I think you can go up to like 500 degrees on these, and so I love having these.
These also make great candy molds.
There's all shapes, sizes, and colors. These just happen to be really basic ones that we got from Amazon, I believe, or maybe Walmart. I cannot remember. It's been a long time since I've gotten these. They save you money from getting the like throwaway paper muffin tin. This kind of eliminates all of that, and then it eliminates any oil freezing and cooking too. So I think it's a really good frugal thing to have. And that brings me to the end of our list. I hope that you have found at least a few things that you can add to your kitchen stores, and I'm sure that there are thousands of other things that are frugal that belong in our kitchen that you can tell me in the comments that you like to have in your kitchen to save money. Please do. And until next time, stay safe, be well, and may God bless you.